going Opal Ridge South today, so here we are parked at the Fortress gas station. We thought we were gonna have the place to ourselves, but there's already two groups of people ahead of us, so oh well. How you doing, Brody?
Sweating. And now, talk.
Here we are on the way up to the south ridge of, well, Opal Ridge South, I should say. We just got through the scree belt. There's a reason why when you climb up scree, you don't go right behind the person in front of you. And what happens if you do that, Brody?
You get a rock on your baby toe.
Rock on your baby toe.
And you cry like a baby.
You cry like a baby, exactly. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning. And we're gonna keep going up.
That was your Kate update.
Okay, Brody, so we're gonna go up to the top of this ridge and then we're gonna traverse across. You see that path?
Yeah.
Way over there in the middle of the mountain? That's our route.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That looks pretty basic.
Yeah, you know what, I think just to be safe, I'm gonna get you to hold on to the end of this pole.
Yeah.
And then we'll make our way across together.
Okay, I think I can see a small toddler going across it right now. We should be okay.
Yeah, that'll be good. Going for gold, going for gold. Woo woo! Say hi to the people. Check out this view. Woo! Not too shabby for a Wednesday afternoon, or morning, I guess. There's the summit over there. You can see people right on the top waiting for us.
So we're at the bottom. Kate's like, oh man, like it looks pretty nice out. I don't think I'm gonna go up with anything. And I said, okay, sure. Like I have a jacket, rain jacket. She says, no, it'll be really warm up there. Don't worry about it. So we get halfway up, gets a little chilly. I look over at Kate and she's busting out her fleece jacket, her winter gloves. And I go, what? Fleece jacket, winter gloves? And she looks and she says, what, you didn't pack anything like that? Isn't that right, Kate?
Hey, you told me you've hiked before in the mountains, Brody.
I've never been in the mountains ever.
I thought you were a grown-ass man.
I'm a baby. I'm a toddler that needs to be looked after. Constantly.
God, I need your lunch. What more can you ask for?
It's true. Well. Now that you mention it. No, I'm just kidding. She actually didn't say that.
I was like, I bring a coat, and Brody's like, I think it's warm. I don't really need my coat. Leave that other coat here.
I'm in shorts. Getting up to the top of the Hillary steps here. Yeah. Gonna plant the first flag. I mean, ignore all these footsteps, but it's actually a first summit. Oh wait, somebody's already there. Crap. Never mind.
Summit time! Woo! Where are you, Brody? Oh, here he comes. I think he's talking to himself. Hi, Brody. Stunning. Just stunning. Here we are, top of the Opal Ridge South Summit. There's a really cool thing about Opal Ridge is these rocks up here. If you just pick them up, you want ones that are about the size of your palm, they had this really cool thing. If you lick them, they taste like candy. Try it next time you're up here.
Yeah, do it, you dummies.
If you get 10, I'll give you a beer when we get back to the car.
What if I don't get 10?
No beer. You could have one sip of my 2 beers.
2, 3. No!
Okay, you could have one more try. I'm feeling generous.
Wait. Alright, I'm still having a beer. So I was just talking to Kate, and she was just telling me the history of the Opal mountain range, and it was really interesting, so I thought maybe I would let her explain it to you guys. She really had an intriguing story.
Yeah, it's actually not appropriate for public
consumption?
Yeah. So let's keep that story to ourselves.
Okay. Yeah, well, it was... Okay, sorry guys. I do like a arm out thing. Beautiful. I'll do an arm in. I'll do a spin.
Now do
a jump, maybe? Whoa! Kate just bust out her fleece gloves, her fleece pants, and her toque. And then I'm in basketball shorts with no underwear. And no gloves. But you know what the best thing is? I got a positive attitude. Isn't that right? Am I right, people? Am I right? Hi, Crash. Are you doing good, Crash, buddy? Hey, goody. Who's Crash? Oh, you're being a good boy. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. So.
This is Roots in the Wilderness, and this episode is about hiking Opal Ridge South Peak. Welcome back to Roots in the Wilderness. My name is Kate Hamilton, and today I am talking about Opal Ridge South Peak hike. This hike is a easy scramble. It's about 7.5 kilometers there and back, and you gain about just over 1,000 meters of elevation through the hike. So the reason why I wanted to do this hike was honestly because I saw a picture my friend had posted over the weekend, and it looked really beautiful, and I had FOMO. So I asked him how it was, and he said it was an awesome hike. And so I collected my friend Brody and decided to drag him up the mountain for the day. So getting to the trailhead for Opal Ridge, you leave Calgary, exit onto Highway 40, and then Once you get onto Highway 40, you stay there for another half an hour or so, 40 kilometers, until you get to Fortress Junction, and you go into the gas station there. The trailhead is actually in the back north corner of the parking lot at the gas station. Once you get there, it is obvious where the trail starts. So if you look around and you don't see, it doesn't look clear to you, you're probably in the wrong spot. From the parking lot, the trail starts up a little bit along a creek, and you cross over the creek. Eventually you get to Power Line Road, where you turn left. It's also very obvious, and you walk along that Power Line Road here for 5 minutes or so. This is the only part of the hike that is flat-ish, so just so you know that. After that 5 minutes or so, there's a trail that darts off to the right, and there are a couple of arrows that people had made out of rocks on the ground to see where that trail is. But it also is pretty obvious if you're keeping your eye out for it. Starting right away there, you start to climb. 1,000 meters of elevation gain over 3.5 kilometers is quite a bit. So you just continue straight up. The trail is easy to follow through the forest. Then you start to come out of the forest into more of the alpine and the rocks there. And eventually you get to a very large scree section where the trail isn't as obvious anymore. However, whatever path you decide to take up is going to get you to the right spot. I just recommend, stopping and looking for a clear path before you go, because there are definitely easier ways and there are harder ways. And throughout this section, I used my hands a few times on the way up. Not too much, but with scree, your feet are slipping back as you're trying to move forward. Eventually, you get up to the ridge top, and it is stunning. Well, actually, to be honest, the whole thing is really beautiful. Once you climb out of the trees, which doesn't take very long, you have a really nice view of Kananaskis Valley. But once you get onto the top of the ridge, that's where it's at. That's why ridge walks are so amazing, is because you get such a good view on both sides. Right now, the trail condition is really good, actually. There's some snow at the top, but not much snow. There's a clear path from other people hiking up there. Brody and I both were just in small trail runners, and that was totally fine for us. If you do use hiking poles, I definitely recommend it for something like this, because the entire hike is up or down, and they're really helpful for both ways. So poles are a good idea. Anyways, then you continue along the ridge for a little bit longer, and eventually you get to the top peak there, and honestly, it is so gorgeous. In one direction, you can see Kananaskis Lakes, and you can see down the valley. 360-degree view is very beautiful. This hike took Brody and I about not quite 3.5 hours. We did stop a few times and take pictures and videos and have snacks and stuff. However, we did run a bit, so it might take longer. Some of the blogs that I've read of other people, they're saying that they're taking 4 to 6 hours on this hike. So depends how fast you hike and if you like to do a little run shuffle at any time, because that's what we like to do. There is another way to do Opal Ridge. I haven't done it, so I won't have too many details on it, but you can actually start on the north side of Opal Ridge and then walk across a long 8-kilometer ridge line till you get to the summit that Brody and I were on. So that would mean parking in a different spot by the Eau Claire campground, and hiking up from there and then along the ridge over to where we were. There's a few things to think about if that's what you're interested in. One is you'll need to either shuttle a car, hide a bike, or just plan to run back to your car once you get down to the for Fortress Junction. The other thing is that that hike is not an easy scramble. That goes into a moderate scramble. So there's areas of exposure there. So that's another thing that you could research, though, if you were interested in going for a bit of a longer hike. But other than that, this hike was truly beautiful. And if you want to get some elevation in a day, it's a relatively short hike for the rewards you get at the top. I definitely recommend it. Right now, as for wildflowers, it's still just those prairie crocuses out for you to see. And we went on Wednesday, a weekday, so it wasn't too busy. Well, I guess that depends what you think busy is. We did see probably 5 different groups of people, and that was midweek. So my suspicion is that this hike is pretty busy on the weekend. So that's also something to consider. One last couple of things I want to mention before I wrap up this short podcast. Since it is near the start of the hiking season, just a reminder to tell someone where you're going. Bring your bear spray. Make sure that you have a jacket for the top, because even if it says it's going to be 25 degrees out, anything can happen in the mountains. And honestly, it's all happened to me, and I'll tell you, I have been glad to have had a jacket and gloves and toque with me. So just make sure that you do your due diligence before you get out there. And just to wrap it up, I do recommend this hike. My opinion is check it out. It's really beautiful. Thank you for listening. My name is Kate, and this is Roots in the Wilderness.